up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Peace, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. See what else is going on the blogs.
I sponsor the blog.
Let me tell you something.
Now I sponsor the blog. I was supposed to come down here. What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica. We are down here, honey. I was supposed to talk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it because I don't even want to watch it next season. I don't. And then there was some story that came out that Lisa said that Jenny Nguyen, the racist, Vietnamese racist, she needs to be given a second chance. And here's my thing. This is what I was thinking about earlier. These shows, hire all the racists you want. Hire all the racists, all the bigots you want. I just don't have to watch it. I don't feel like I'm being forced to watch Salt Lake City or any show where I don't feel like I don't know. I just don't want to support Salt Lake City. I don't want to support Salt Lake City. I don't want to support Salt Lake City. It's going to be filed in the filing cabinet with DC and Dallas. Y'all can keep it. Y'all can keep it. Y'all can keep it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Truth be told, Meredith is not that fascinating. Lisa is not that fascinating. No one on that show is fascinating to me. Nobody. Nobody's fascinating. Nobody's funny. Nobody has one-liners. They tried to do it with Jen Shah, but she's so obnoxious. Like, Jen Shah is so obnoxious to me. She is completely unlikable. Like, if you wanted to come in like a Nene with the jokes, or even a who else could she come in as? Like, even a Lisa Rinna. Like, I don't know. Like, Jen Shah's too much. And then it's like the template that she uses for her behavior is like a black girl. And it's just like, that shit is old as fuck. Just because you sit on black dick doesn't mean you automatically start acting like a black woman. You know, I'm just over it. I did watch all 3 parts, but I just like, girl, I'm not even watching this next season at all. Is Mary coming back? She's not coming back. The entire cast, I don't know. And then they don't seem to even like each other. Like, I don't know. It's worse than Atlanta. Y'all don't even like each other. And Lisa, every time she acts like she can't be confronted with her shit. Like, she immediately turns into, where's this book? I have this book. Oh, shit. I have this book. Didn't I tell you I'm always spilling stuff? I have this book called Angry Black Girl by Alexis Giandi. She is a very smart woman. She has intellectual is her channel, but she talks about in one of her chapters, the victim. Here she goes. Let's go back to Rose Armitage real quick. She seemed innocent and normal until she found out she was raised to kidnap and hypnotize Black people for the wanton desires of white family members and friends. Even when Chris knew that she was a deranged mayonnaise demon escaped from the deepest pits of hell, he couldn't bring himself to choke her to death. He looked down at her pretty face and decided that he couldn't do it. This was one of the scariest parts of the movie to me because it represents America's response to the type of woman who has grown in popularity thanks to the internet and social media. You already know I'm talking about women like Ann Coulter and Tomi Lahren. She says everything the typical white male racist says, but a sweet voice, a conventionally attractive face, and the privilege of femininity that whiteness grants her to keep the virulent racist bimbo from being labeled as one. Her appearance, gender, and feminine qualities appear to people that white men can't. Because of her appearance and status as a white woman, she is protected by white and black men alike. To them, she is never angry or bitter, just sassy and passionate. To them, she is not racist, just speaking the truth or her opinion. In fact, some black men shrug off her racism with a sickening resolve, I'd still fuck. At the end of the film, when Rose thought she saw a cop car, she knew she could snap back into victim mode. Had it been a cop instead of Chris's friend Rod, they they'd have seen a bloodied black man looking down on a broken white woman and shot him in a heartbeat. Rose knew that she could weave a tale of rape and terror and go on about her life. Not every white woman sucks, but every white woman on this list and every white woman in real life has the fake victim card at her disposal. When my former college roommate Elizabeth experienced my reaction to her threat to do me bodily harm, she flipped the switch. She was no longer the vodka-fueled instigator making threats and acting tough. She was suddenly crying in the hallway, inconsolable and weak. This is white womanhood. This is their ultimate privilege. At any moment, they can go from the agitator or abuser to a delicate and innocent white woman in need of protection from the big, scary black. Even worse, not every black man or woman will be fortunate enough to have a friend like Rod to come and save them when they've been accused of violence by a white woman, or when they are simply black in the wrong place at the wrong time. Many have been and will continue to be caught up in the web of faux innocent lies and evil spun by white women. Perhaps this is why Get Out is one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. Shout out to Alexis Giandi. This is Angry Black Girl. You can get it on Amazon. That just reminded me that entire crew on Salt Lake City, that's what Lisa does. She's an agitator. She's an instigator. She plays a producer on the side. And then when somebody says something to her, she turns into the victim. It's like their template. Like I told you, I've had white girls tell me that their mama teach them how to cry on cue. So it's like for them it works. They're like, oh my God, go save her. But when the black woman cries, child, they'd be like, girl, shut up. You strong. Ain't you strong, girl? Ain't you strong? You strong. You strong, girl. Okay, so what's going on the blogs now? I sponsor. Girl, you say I sponsor the blogs? Okay, Khaleesi's husband, Mike Mora, has passed away. We lost a brother yesterday. We will truly miss you, Mike. Evan Ross posted, this is Diana Ross's son. We lost a brother yesterday. We will truly miss you, Mike. Thinking of some of the great times we all spent together. You and someone recorded me at Dallas Austin studio in Atlanta. First time I've ever really recorded a record in a studio. You made it feel easy and safe. Everything I saw you do was built in passion. I loved connecting with you again, hearing about your children and your life and your wife you have built. I'm sending all prayers and love to you, to your family, brother. And he at Khalees, and then he added him. He was a photographer. He had stage 4 stomach cancer. And I remember when they announced it last year, and when Tracy transitioned for esophageal cancer, with ending her battle with esophageal cancer, I thought about Khaleesi's husband. And then yesterday he passed, or probably, well, they announced it yesterday, I should say. So shout out to Khalees, and condolences to her. And that's just what it is. Princess Love speaks about possibly reconciling her marriage with Ray J. The door is always open. So what is the incentive to change, Princess? Princess embodies like this person who has severe insecurities, who portrays herself not to. A person with that deep of an insecurity would be willing to take a man back who publicly humiliates her. I think y'all have Girl Scout vests on and you get badges for how many years you allow yourself to be publicly humiliated by these men who have no respect for you and who are only using you as a placeholder to look like they are responsible when they meet other business people. Having a wife makes you look like you're a responsible person. So you're being used in that, and you're allowing the door to stay open to a person who has publicly humiliated you. And I said to myself, the likelihood of Princess ever disconnecting from Ray J is very low because he owns her name as a trademark. So I'll let you do with it what you will. You can do your own research. I posted it on my Instagram stories and on Twitter. I've been saying it for years, and I think y'all think I'm just playing, but Ray J trademarked the name Princess Love. It is owned by Knockout Entertainment. That is Ray J, one of Ray J's companies. So she's never going to leave. She's enslaved. She is enslaved. And when y'all keep going off, oh, slavery was a choice, some of these women choose to be in slavery. When it comes to spinning the block, don't count out Princess Love. In a recent interview with TMZ, Princess talked about a possible reconciliation with her estranged husband. We love each other, but when you stop trying, then you have to do what you have to do. The reality star was asked if she was fighting and abruptly cut off the interviewer to say she wasn't. When speaking about her divorce, she said, "I don't know what I want, but you know, when somebody keeps filing for divorce, you have to give them what they want." Ray filed for divorce back in October, making it the third time in total. Can you imagine how emotionally abusive it is to keep going back and forth in like on this in left in limbo? Like first she filed for divorce, and then she rescinded it, and then he keeps filing for divorce. Let me tell you something. I think part of the reason, I could be wrong, but I feel like part of the reason why he is leaving the door open for Ray J, because nobody else will partner with her because of Ray J. So you're his property. You're his property. He owns your name as a trademark. You won't date other people, and that's fine because you have 2 little children. The way that the world is, you don't want anybody around your children. I understand that. But the door would not be opened for Ray J. The door would be closed, and it should be closed. But again, you are dealing with a actually outwardly beautiful woman whose insides are like riddled with insecurity. It's just like, remember on what is his name? Venom. You know how when he changes and his body just turns, it just like all black and just comes all black. That's what the inside of Princess loves. And it's just insecurities all on the inside. She looks beautiful on the outside, beautiful on the outside. But on the inside, a woman who says they will take a man back who has publicly humiliated them does not love herself. And it's sad because she's raising children who are going to witness the lack of love that she has for herself, and unfortunately feel that this is normal. This is how you relate to other men and women, the way that my mom and dad relate to each other. So when it's time for me to go out into relationships and model the relationships I've seen, I'm going to model a woman who had no self-esteem, was riddled with insecurities, who allowed my father, who publicly humiliated her. I did a Google search of my mom and dad's relationship, and everything came up. I'm not quite sure how you, as a mother, when your daughter becomes of age, can you explain why? Why did you put yourself through this for my dad, and my dad continued to treat you like shit? Why did you do that? If you want your children to have respect for you, you should have respect for yourself, period. And Princess Love, you allowing Ray J back into whatever realm of yours that you are creating It just shows that you don't love yourself. There's no way that you can tell me or convince me that you love yourself if you're letting a man back in your life who publicly humiliated you, pushed your ass in a pool, honey, and then gaslights you on a consistent basis. That's somebody you don't need to be attached to. I guess he has to file for divorce 4 more times because they say it takes 7 times to get your ass up and finally leave. That's in an abusive relationship, physically abusive. This is emotionally abusive. Ray J is a epitome of a man who has been coddled into narcissism. I don't know if that's an actual thing. That is my theory about the collective of black men. They have been coddled into narcissism. That's what I believe, and that is my theory. And Ray J, with his overbearing helicopter mother and sister, allowing him to behave like that because he's good in business, but his relationships with women suck. And we live in a culture that somehow it's probably Princess's fault. I'm sure his mother is that woman who will not actually tell her son, hey, what you're doing to this woman is absolutely abusive and it's not good for her mental health or for your children to witness. But no, Ray J is the baby, little Willie Ray Norwood Jr. I would stay away from him. D.L. Hughley calls out Kanye West. Kanye, it's just too bad that you acting like a nut won't stop Pete from busting one. Comedian. Ain't it weird that Kanye is supposed to have all these goons who will kill for him, but not one of them will get his prescriptions filled? Here's a thought. While you're on your way to kill me in Calabasas, how about somebody drop off CVS and pick up his Xanax? Pick up his medication. A lot of people are attributing Kanye's behavior to his being in a manic state. And that's possible. But on top of that, I feel like Kanye is entitled. I think it's absolutely ridiculous for you as the non-custodial parent to act like you have control over what goes on in this house when you're not here. If you don't want North on TikTok, then that means that when she's with you, she doesn't have to be on TikTok. That's fine. Tell Northy when she goes to daddy's house, you will not be able to use TikTok. You know he doesn't like you using TikTok. But when you're here, that's why she don't want to go anywhere with him, because she wants to be on TikTok and he won't let her get on TikTok. And she's on there with the mom and the cousins, playing around and trying to be creative. And then Whack 100, who is just another embodiment of the pathology of this mind state of men coming out to support Kanye in this guise of daddy gang, right? He says, D.L. Hughley stands with the Illuminati. We represent the Numinati. We represent the Numinati. Great job, boy. Now run and get the lemonade. Kanye West, keep your head up. Just because they look like us doesn't mean they're for us. Listen to what he says. Listen to Whack 100, what he said. Just because they look like us doesn't mean they're for us. Listen to what he says. Listen, an ignorant nigga can be right like a broken clock. Twice in a day. You can be right. You absolutely right. But the idea that D.L. Hughley is somehow working for the illuminated ones, the people who actually see, the people who actually pull the goddamn curtain back to see all you niggas really are. For some odd reason now, you are the enemy because you're holding a man accountable for his questionable actions towards his family. And now somehow he's the enemy. This is why I say all the time that black men come from a culture where there's no accountability. You see, one black man stood up and said, What you're doing is stalking. What you're doing is wrong. If you talk to my daughter like that, it's going to be a different story. Then the other men rally behind the one who is doing the bad behavior to yell at the man who's actually saying, we need to hold you accountable for your behavior, bruh. But no, now he's the enemy. D.L. Hughley's the enemy now. And you see, that's how it works. When you hold these men accountable, you are now the enemy. That's why I said it's time for people to just get on the train. Because like Whack 100 said with his whack ass, like he said, just because they look like us don't mean they for us. I want black women to hear that. Just because they look like you, boo, don't mean they for you, boo boo. Okay? What else did Whack 100 say? I think that was it. Wait. Yeah, that was it, because Kanye threatened he said God doesn't like you, and he said that he has the means to hurt him. So because somebody told you that what you're doing is stalking and what you're doing is wrong, you want to kill that person. And then y'all wonder why the community it's like, I don't want to be held accountable, and if you hold me accountable, I'd rather end your life. Girl, I don't know. I don't know what else is happening. I think that's it, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Abbott Elementary was renewed for season 2 by ABC. Come on through. All right, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.